Hey guys, I'm the NFL Addict, and today I will be predicting which teams will be the top 5 in the NFL after the 2021 season. Now, before we get started, just wanted to say this is before the draft, and I'm recording this on April 22nd, probably going to come out on April 23rd. Just want to get that out there just in case, you're watching this after the draft and something crazy is happening, or you're watching this, mid-May and some teams made a big signing. I'm just going to go ahead and say, before the draft, before all that, I will be remaking this video after the draft, of course. Kind of run out of ideas, so I'm just doing videos that normally I would do afterwards that I will remake afterwards. So at fifth, I'm going to have the Packers. And I know I've already started, but I just want to say this isn't like, top 5 teams I think will win the Super Bowl. This is not top. This is just in general who I think will be the top 5 teams. You have the Packers, stellar offense. They're really kind of like the fifth man because there's not too many like amazing teams in the league, but the Packers are up there. Now this is with Aaron Rodgers. If they somehow, for some reason, get rid of Aaron Rodgers, and those rumors have completely died off basically by now, so I doubt that'll happen. But if by some crazy miracle they do get rid of him, they'll plummet. Basically, the Packers, I feel like they have a great offense. Not really feeling that defense, and they could add a couple more weapons, just to completely cement their offense as possibly, a top offense in the league. But I definitely do think that they're a top 5 team. And at fourth, I'm going to have the Buccaneers. A lot of people are going to be confused on why I don't have them higher. They just won the Super Bowl, and that's because, their offseason, if you look after Week 17 of last season, amazing. Probably number 1. But also, they haven't really made too many crazy additions. They've spent the majority of their offseason getting a lot of guys back, which I definitely think they should. I'm not saying that they have a bad offseason. I have a number 4 for a reason. I'm just saying that the reason that they're at number 4 is because you look at the regular season last year, and they had a lot of bad games. The Bears game, both Saints games for the offseason, that was a lot of Tom Brady looking old. That was a lot of their whole team kind of falling apart, and you can't just ignore those games. Now you also can't ignore the postseason games. Those are pretty good. Like that definitely their best football was played after Week 17, and I definitely think they are a very, very good team. But the fact that they haven't done too much this offseason to fix some of the holes that they had does kind of worry me. So yeah. At third, I'm going to have probably a surprise here, but the Browns. They came out, last year they almost made the AFC Championship game. They were this close to the Super Bowl. They let it slip. They really should have, won that game against the Chiefs, but it's whatever. I'm not a Browns fan. I'm not too pressed about that. The thing is, though, they came out and they were one of those. They were one of those teams that's basically really good, and I expected them to go into this offseason and do what most teams do, and that is kind of sit there, where most good teams do, and that's sit there, sign some of your players back, maybe sign, fill some small holes, backup right tackle, something, minuscule like that. They came out, they got John Johnson, they got a couple other big players. They've been making some big moves, and they've probably gone from 5th to 3rd, and they're looking like a very, very dangerous team. Definitely by far my favorites for the AFC North as of right now, before the draft, for all that. I just want to say that. But yeah, at second, this is also going to be a surprise, I have the Chiefs. And this isn't, the reason that they're not number 1 isn't, because they're bad. It's mainly because the other team is really, really good. The Chiefs, they have had a pretty productive offseason. They came out here, they got a lot, they filled up some holes on that offensive line. The offensive line was really their only issue, and they kind of fixed that. Though Patrick Mahomes, towards the end of the season, their whole team really, towards the end of the season, and again, this is going to sound, this is like, nitpicking. They were only winning by 5-6 points, which again, they are still winning, which is why they are at second. However, they were playing down to their opponents, and they were playing some really easy opponents, in my opinion, that they should have blown out, and they were really looking pretty bad up until maybe the last couple of minutes in the games. And obviously in the postseason, they should have lost to the Browns. They lost the Super Bowl. They didn't fall apart. Obviously, if they fell apart towards the end of the season, they wouldn't be on this list, or they'd be a lot lower. But they definitely started looking a lot worse, and they have filled up, some holes on the offensive line. But that defense also is worrying me a tiny bit. So the Chiefs have some potential issues. They obviously have number 2. If I was a Chiefs fan, I wouldn't get too mad about this. I don't know when I'm gonna have the Bills. Came out probably as the number 2 team. I've really liked the Bills. You look at last season, my preseason power rankings, I had the Bills at number 1. That changed. They had a kind of rough start, or not rough start, but they didn't have a number 1 start. With the Bills, they came out of this last offseason. They were pretty freaking good last season. But one of my favorite teams, not favorite as in, I root for them, but favorite as in I think they're a very good team. Their defense has been stout for years. That's kind of been their thing since Tyrod Taylor was their quarterback. And now they go out and Josh Allen had a breakout year, and he only looked better as the year progressed. Although he did kind of fall out of the MVP race pretty quickly. He did get more MVP votes than Patrick Mahomes, though, which is kind of telling on how good he was. And then they came out this offseason. They got Emmanuel Sanders. They added another weapon to that offense. So now I feel like they probably have one of the best offenses in the league, one of the best defenses in the league. And I know I said this doesn't have anything to do with Super Bowl. They are my Super Bowl favorites as of right now. Before the draft, before any of that stuff, I have the Bills at number 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna try to post a lot more often. It's just I've been really busy and I've been struggling to come up with video ideas. Once they release a schedule, I'll be dropping predictions every single day until the season starts. I'll do all 32 teams the postseason, and then I'll redo them with all the updated rosters and all that. But thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe on the small channel so every sub helps, and I hope to see you in my next one. Goodbye.